This is Dana Fuchs, and you're listening to Jim and Mike Talk Music.
Welcome to Jim and Mike Talk Music. I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike. Good to see you again. We were, just to jog your memory, we were the first to greet you after the Stanhope show in New Jersey when you weren't feeling well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came up running to you. to
now
say hi.
It all comes back.
I
was
Stanhope.
a foggy mess.
Yeah, I bet it was foggy for you. Yeah, that night.
I was sick that whole weekend. But I wasn't feeling well before that.
Okay. I was like,
but it wasn't
man.
your hug that you
Sorry. How many people I infected.
Oh, a hug is worth it sometimes. Yeah. So that's great. You're out.
I'm letting my 5.5-year-old, he's crying because he didn't see his parents.
Oh.
Hold on. What's the matter? What happened? Guys, can you give me a second?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
My husband took 2-year-old, and I don't know what happened to this one. Aiden, mommy's doing an interview. What's happened? You want to sit here with me for a second? I just have to talk to these guys.
Dana, that's really special. That is so special that we get to see you in a different role here.
This is Aiden and Sonic.
Hi, Aiden.
Can you say hi? Are you shy? Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to say hi.
All right, can I finish this? All right, I'm going to talk to these guys, but you can sit right here with me, okay, my love? Okay.
We certainly don't mind if he joins. Yeah. So where are you?
Thank you. We are at this famous old cathedral in Upper Manhattan on Amsterdam Avenue 112. It's called Cathedral Parkway, and they have a children's school here called ACT, A-C-T. Mm-hmm. So one of Aiden's classmates and his brother celebrating their birthdays, and also it's a going away party because they're moving to the suburbs of New Jersey.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
We're in New Jersey.
We're across the state. We're across the state all the way.
You guys are in where?
Washington, New Jersey, right before you get to PA.
Okay. Yeah, that's
directly
right there.
west.
Aiden, I'm sorry, he's climbing on a very treacherous. No, go back. My husband thought he took the one obstacle away. Okay, sorry guys. Go play. I'll be right there. Going back to play.
Hey Dana,
I'm sorry. Thank you.
No problem. No problem at all. I'm noting your fashion here for our listeners. You're wearing the Australian, from the angle of the photo, it's Australian hat. The brown and beige theme, the brown sunglasses, and
yes.
Is it the paparazzi? Are you fearing the paparazzi coming after you? You look different than when we saw you on stage.
Deadly sun.
Yeah.
It's the sun. I'm trying to avoid the sun at all costs.
Right.
I'm not a hot girl. This is my desert hat. I got this hat in the desert.
Yeah, Arizona.
The Grand Canyon, actually.
Yeah.
SPF 50.
Yeah.
So let's start off talking about your new album, Borrowed Time. It's your 9th album. Can you tell us some things about the album? Like where it was recorded? I'm assuming it's all original material.
Yes.
Great
Every
album.
song is original. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was recorded in a town called Croswell, Michigan, which is about an hour and a half outside of Detroit in like more farm territory.
Mm-hmm.
We were initially going to be in Muscle Shoals and a little bit of Memphis, but that particular producer we were geared up to record with was just too nervous about COVID because he's older. And even though he was boosted, he panicked, canceled twice. And after the second cancellation, we just realized we needed an album out this year. So our label, Ruf Records, asked us to, listen to 2 other producers. And the guy that we ended up with. I just liked his sounds were a little different. It wasn't the mainstream sort of bluesy rock stuff that we were hearing from, you know, a lot of producers in that genre who were great.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like, all right, let's try something different. And we had a phone call with him, and he'd already gotten the demos, and he was just on point with all of his thoughts and direction. Like, let's go Stones on this one. Let's go Skynyrd on that one. You know, all of the references were just, I literally was on the phone texting my music partner and manager going, this is the guy. I don't even need to talk to anybody else. So we went, like, to joke and say we made a sort of southern rock record in the middle of snowy Michigan. I flew the day before Thanksgiving, and the whole family came. I just really, this was the first album that, you know, I didn't really have too much say in, like, scheduling and musicians. I brought, of course, it's me and my music partner and co-writer John Diamond, and I always bring my bass player Jack Daly. But other than that, the producer picked the studio. He said, do you want to do big, slick studio in Detroit, or do you want to go to a homemade studio in the country with a dog? I was like, the country with the dog, take me. I'm sick of Slick City. I live in New York City. I'll take the country with the dog. It was such the right move. We had an amazing time making it.
So was this Black River House?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Kenny Tudrick's place.
Okay. And he worked with Samantha Fish?
Yeah, he drummed with her. I think co-produced her album. But he, you know, his claim to fame was Kid Rock back in the day.
Oh.
Yeah, so not a lot of people know that. He helped write some of those hits.
Yeah.
And they're in the stroller. Daddy's got them in the stroller. He'll be right back. You have plenty of other clothes. You can get those wet. So sorry.
So is he playing drums
rock
on the
and roll.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
No. Kenny is a brilliant guitar player, so he's the other guitarist. It's the first time we've ever tracked live with another guitarist. We've either gone in and done basics and then overdubbed second guitar with John Diamond, doing all the guitar part. And if we tracked with another chordal instrument, it was usually keys. And this time, we're like, let's just do live takes with Kenny and John, and it played out brilliantly. I mean, pretty much everything you're hearing on that record, there was so little. John overdubbed a couple of solo sections, but that was everything else is the two of them just, you know, feeding off of each other, which is great.
Yeah, the guitar work on that is incredible.
And I noticed with this latest album, My Own Opinion, is hearing it, like you said, the influences that you mentioned already going into this album, and you can hear them on there. And so I'm hearing even a harder driving rock with some blues, you know, and listening to some previous albums and stuff. It's quite a mix of rock and blues. And so, this is a little bit of blues influence, but a lot of you're rocking, just like you were at the Stanhope in New Jersey not long ago. Yeah. Rocking out.
Yeah, I did notice two of the songs reminded me of the Stones, like right away. Hard Road, and my favorite,
very Stonesy.
Not Another Second on You. That's like my favorite.
I'm so glad.
Song on that.
Yeah. Fast to the slowest burn. And straight talk taking on a whole new turn. Stepping up to the final line. My soul's on fire, done lost my mind. Riding out to a smoking scene. The barrel was dirty, but the shot was clean. Can't fall in a dead man's shoe. Not another second to live. You've been alright with a ball and chain.
Tell us about something about that song. Not Another Second.
Another second. It's so funny because literally we were going to do a cover, and the producer was like, just go write a song. Do you got any like barn burners in your back pocket? So John Diamond started playing this riff, and I was like, just give us an hour. And we went, set aside.
Wow.
The band took a break and ate, and we wrote Not Another Second. As soon as he started playing the riff, I was like, this is going to be my gun song. And I've always wanted to write a song about, you know, the conundrum of gun culture in this country, you know, and you have to be careful because I know a lot of my fan base are, you know, gun owners and they don't want to lose their guns. But at the same time, we've got to do something about this crises. And obviously this is before another batch of children were just killed. So, you know, it was really just, as John was playing the riff, I suddenly just had an image of like, you know, the rioting that was going on during Black Lives Matter with the George Floyd, all the police shootings, all the news about shootings in general. And I just imagined myself floating through these different scenes, being a spectator of what goes on. And that's why it's like, you know, you can't walk in a dead man's shoes, wearing that gun like a ball and chain. It just, the lyrics flow to me. And it just really worked with what John was doing. I imagined if I ever made a music video for that song, I wanted to just see a bunch of people having a bar fight, throwing furniture. I don't know why.
Reminds me of the Stones.
Video where everybody's just having a bar fight, right?
Stones on tour, Well, it is important. You know that you need to be careful for your fan base, but of course, you know, as the song came to you, you need to be true to yourself and get that out. And that's it came across really well. I thought, Jim's favorite song.
That means a lot.
I mean, it's got
It's my favorite rocker.
Yes, favorite rocker.
There's also a great hook when you say "been on the run with a ball and chain" when it goes into that. I mean, that's in the song a couple of times, but then that's a great hook.
Yeah, that's our little bridge. That was my favorite part of the song. We're in agreement. I love singing that part. I just like the changes John found there, and just like, wow.
Well, even changing the title, like when I listen to it, I'm like, is she saying "not another second to lose"? And you are in the beginning. And then towards the end, "on you," you say. So I thought that was a great transition.
I like to sneak in those little things when I write a song.
Yeah, one little change. It gets the listener listening. Yeah.
And what about one more, "Call My Name"? That's another one of my favorites.
Call me crazy, but call me right. I'm looking for, so let me go and cry no more. And it's alright, lover. You can call my name.
Thank you. That's actually one of my favorite slow ones on the record. That one, you know, acoustic demo, again, you know, John's just so good at just like, he'll just start, the way we write is really interesting. And we wrote these songs pretty fast because we thought we had a earlier deadline than we ended up having with the change of producers. So I was running, he lives 4 blocks from me, and in his old tenement, like Stone House in East Harlem, is our studio. So I would just show up and I'd be like, okay, I got 3 hours. I'm a babysitter today. You know, we got to do this. And he was starting to play me stuff. Yeah, we were definitely under the gun, if you will. And with that one, he was just playing through stuff he had just been recording at home, like just little snippets of ideas. And that one just stopped me. And I was like, whoa, play that again. And loved the way the chords were moving and the strum he was doing. And I was like, okay, now play it live, turn the recording off and just keep playing the verse section over and over and over. And that's what he'll often do. And then I'll just start typing. The words will just flow out.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you typing, writing, or just trying to remember everything? So yeah, you just start typing out as fast as you can.
Yeah, and a lot of times I'm just making up words and then it'll evoke an idea and I'll go back and I'll go, oh, this is what's going to the story. And sometimes John will have a melody in his mind. Oftentimes, actually, John will have a melody and he'll just mumble. He'll never sing words, but he'll start doing that and I'll hear words in his mumble and it'll evoke an idea. So that's what happened with Call My Name. He was like, I was like, sounds like you're saying it's all right, lover. I'm going to use that. There's something there. That was how that started. And I said, just keep playing that over and over and over again. And then I just typed.
Yeah. So you've got an emotion. I mean, he's starting with, if he has an emotion and you came up and you heard in his mumblings, it's all right. It's all, I mean, that means a lot. There's a comfort there, you know?
Yes.
It's all right.
Yeah, he gave me a mood. You're right.
Yeah.
He gave me a mood and an emotion, and then I built the story around it.
Yeah. Wow.
This is, like I said, your 9th album, but there has to be something about this album that, like I said, not that to discredit your other albums, which are great,
but other people are hearing.
Your album made it to number 4 on Billboard Blues charts. Have you ever?
Something to be proud of.
Have you ever had? You've probably never charted an album that high, or in the blue.
No, I don't think so, and especially right in the company of Bonnie Raitt, and there was some great. I was up there with some great ones.
Robin Trower, Taj Mahal, Edgar Winter.
Taj Mahal,
yeah.
Big Taj Mahal fan too. So that was an honor, and it's so funny. When we were making the record, I was like, I hope this isn't too rock and roll. And I remember, someone saying to me, every blues fan, is a rock and roll fan too.
Right.
So I was like, all right. I remember when we were done and starting to listen to mixes, we were like, this was a blast, but is anybody going to like this? So it was a surprise to chart like that.
Yeah. I listened to it again this morning. I probably listened to it, I don't know, 5 or 6 times so far.
Thank you.
Love it.
Yeah, the two moods of blues, that low, the classic blues that and then just rocking out. You need that, It's like, some rock and rollers from decades ago, and then they do this ballad. Kiss did Beth, right? I mean, that's Kiss.
Calling. Yeah, shocker.
Yeah, I mean that kind of thing. So
well, I like the combination of. The album starts out with a real rocker and ends with Star, which is a real rocker. But in between, like at first I thought, the first song, after hearing the first, and then it slows down to, I thought that was kind of strange, but, Blue Mist Road. But after listening to the whole album completely, it works with the song.
I felt like Double Down was such an onslaught that I was like, let's let people breathe for a second after that, but not go too drastic to a ballad. So
I saw you for the first time then, as I mentioned already, at Stanhope House in New Jersey. Jim has seen you
four times.
Live 4 times. Sellersville Theater, Sellersville, PA.
First time. I just discovered you. I don't know how long ago it was at Sellersville. But I remember the drummer was sick, and it was just you and John Diamond. And
oh wow, I remember that show. It was
and that
March or February or something.
So it's weird seeing you. The last time you weren't feeling well, and then this, and the first time I saw you, the drummer, and my wife is very. She only likes a couple bands like ABBA, Chili Peppers, and it's one extreme to the other.
Yeah. How about that mix, huh?
But she didn't know who you were, and she fell in love with you, like I did.
Oh, wow.
She even said don't take this the wrong. She said she had a girl crush on you after seeing this.
Don't take that. I love that.
Yeah.
I use that expression too.
She's home here, but she can't hear us.
That was the first time I met you.
There might be a body.
I met you twice, the last time and the first time. And the first time we got out into the lobby, we were first, and you came out and you sat on the table in front of him and said, "Hey, guy," so that was my first impression of you. You're just so warm and so down to earth.
So that's what I wanted to ask about. Seeing at the Stanhope show, you came to the front of the stage. Again, this is a bar club size, just talking to the people. And you had those people up front that it was just true, genuine fan and sisterly love. That was special. That touched me. It did touch me. And so you're able to share your personal feelings and thoughts, which is, that's not common, So thank you for that.
Because some bands come out, they don't even talk to the audience. They go from one song to another. You're part of the crowd.
Yeah.
It's just a warm. I don't know how to explain.
And to watch
it.
to watch that fan
It's
there
a good
with her
feeling.
family.
You leave there with a smile on your face.
Yeah, she was going wild. That fan. I'm not sure if you remember which one. I don't. Yeah. It was great. We were just right behind her there, so that was good.
Part of it that pains me on tour, getting sick all the time. Now add kids to the equation who are also vectors, so you always get sick from them. So it's just that connection with an audience. Imagine like just getting up there. Okay, look at me, listen to me. Here's my song. See ya. Like
yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you have fun doing it. And I can tell you love meeting your fans and singing to them
really
and
do.
the whole thing. Speaking of touring, I was wondering, do you have any rituals before you go on stage? Is it just quiet time? Are you listening to music?
You're talking about 5 minutes before going on, right before going on? Yeah.
So I like to be ready. I like to be dressed and ready 30 minutes before showtime. And then I just sit, while I'm getting dressed and ready, I have, it depends on the mood I'm in for what music I play, but I play music to kind of getting me in the headspace. And then I'm dressed and ready. I like to sit a few minutes, and then I like to go sit with the band and just, loud something, maybe go over the set again one more time and just have a little powwow with them after I've had my solo time. So it's really, and I do a lot of warm up.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
Do a little moment of like I set intention. I'm a Buddhist practitioner, so everything's about setting your intention before you go into a new such situation. So before I go on stage, I always set my intention. Let me just connect with the audience, give them a respite from their lives for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is. So that's my main thing, as I've never done without more than a decade.
And to take your mind off of everything. So just
if you're performing,
like,
certainly.
Oh yeah. Do you have any favorite venues or cities? I know you played a lot of places in other countries, and
a memorable story from one of those that we haven't heard before.
Wow. Well, there was this festival we've done a lot in Norway called Skanavik. And the first time we ever played the festival, it was the biggest paying show of the whole tour. And honestly, without the show, the tour would have cost us money. And our plane was canceled because there was weather coming into the fjords, the mountains, and it's these little puddle jumpers. So they put us on a bus heading us back the other direction, and we were quite dejected. Then the bus driver pulled over, and it wasn't just us, it was everybody who was on that flight.
Right.
The bus driver pulled over and, do we have a Dana Fuchs here? And, me and the band are like, yeah. And they're like, come up to us. And then they said, we're pulling over. They're sending a helicopter so you can make the festival.
wow.
So everybody's on the bus cheering for us. They send the helicopter. It picks us up. We land in the middle of this giant stadium. And I get out. Crowd's already there waiting for the main act, which is Twisted Sister. I get out. My hair is down. It's blonde. I'm tall. I know they thought I was Dee Snider. They start going crazy because this is my first time at this festival. They didn't know who Dana Fuchs was. I'm like, oh my God. And my drummer goes, they think you're Dee Snider.
Dude
so
looks
I
like
did
a
the
lady.
famous Dee Snider spin. Because it was far enough away. All that was the height and the hair. Because I was in a big jacket and I just spun around for them like Dee Snider might.
Wow.
They went crazy. And then we played first, and then Twisted Sister came out, and Dee Snider just got on the mic and started raving about our show. I was just utterly blown away. And I got to meet all of these guys. I was like, holy shit, I was a kid when you were all over MTV, man.
Yeah.
This is too cool. So I love Norway. I mean, I love all the countries, but it's a fun story that I haven't told in a long time. Then I got stung by the world's largest jellyfish the next day in the fjord water. 10 hours of burning. It was still fun.
We're going to Sweden next month. Our second time.
Oh, I love
Stockholm.
Sweden. I don't go to Sweden that often, but Stockholm is so clean. You can sidewalk.
Yeah, we went there like 3 years ago. We're going 3 weeks this time. Staying in an apartment, nice. Airbnb with my son. He's 19. So.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks for that. Thanks for that story. That was getting mistook for Dee Snider across the tarmac. This is awesome. Hey, we only have a few minutes left. You were in a movie Across the Universe. It's a very
2007.
Very unusual movie. You were Sadie, is that right? The role of Sadie. A lot of people aren't even aware of that movie. What was your experience with that overall?
You know, it was my first time ever doing any film, but to have your first film cast you as a lead in the film and work with Bono and Joe Cocker, it was kind of insane. And just remember the cast and I just kept pinching ourselves because we were all unknowns, going, I can't believe that we're getting paid for this. And, you know, they were rolling out the red carpet for us. It's a big budget film. Yeah. It didn't quite, you know, get the promotion I think it deserved. So it wasn't as well known as I think it should have been. But, you know, in our world, getting flown all these different places for previews and it was just a blast to make. And every night going in the studio with T-Bone Burnett, I got to meet Elvis Costello. Oh, wow. It was a dream.
Wow.
Bono
so
and I
cool.
did a dance together and I hung out with Bono on the Edge in England all night. I mean, it was crazy.
And your scene is the psychedelic trip, literally and figuratively, on this double-decker topless bus. Yeah. And so, and Bono is singing, and he's got a cowboy hat, which he always looks so good in. Or a hat like yours right now. I can't recall. Yeah, it's a wild scene. So, I mean, it is wildness. So then you got to hang with Bono and the Edge a little bit.
Yeah, in fact, great story is Bono had a show at the Garden while we were shooting. So he invited all the cast to the VIP. And my now husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, we were there. He left his badge. So they ushered us quickly into the VIP, which is right in front of the stage. But the guards wouldn't let my husband in without his badge and believe that he really had one, so on and so forth. So I felt badly. I was like, you know, I've seen you 2 million times. I get to make this movie with Bono. I'm going to go hang with my husband so he's not left out. Behind the VIP thing, I've still got my badge, go in and out, watching the show. And at one point, Bono does a song. I was a huge U2 fan as a kid. He does a song called Party Girl. And he's taking requests from the audience. And so
an early U2 song.
Yells out, yeah, exactly. Someone screams for Party Girl. And Bono's like, oh, shit, I don't know if I remember the lyric. He's like, is anybody out there? No Party Girl. And it's a pretty young audience. And I'm like, me, I know every word. I was like, if you know it, come on up. I started to get to the stage. I was like, Kev, gotta leave you. And I beeline it to the VIP. I'm like about to get on stage with Bono. And these girls like were in the way, gave me this really dirty look. And I just felt stupid all of a sudden. I was like, all right, let me not embarrass myself. I'm making a movie with Bono. I don't need to do this right now.
Don't need to sing with him right now too. Yeah. Okay.
I know. I kick myself to this day. The next day we were in makeup and literally he asked how I like concerts. I said, well, I told him the whole story. Well, I was out there. I was trying to get back to the VIP section because I knew every word to Party Girl. And he said, oh, Sadie, which was my character's name. Oh, Sadie. I would have known. I would have had you sing a few with us that night. I was just like, wow. I will regret that till my dying day.
So cool. So cool.
Let bitchy young girls shame me out of getting on stage.
What difference does two people in your way can make? Or maybe it was 220, but yeah. Wow. Great story. Yeah. Jim and I have been U2 fans, seen them many times. And so, yeah, that's a great story to hear. Great for us.
I've seen them like eight times.
Yeah.
Almost every
I've seen
tour.
them about as much.
You know.
Same here since I was a little kid. I mean, I was too young to go. I remember my friend's brother was going to the war. We were like really young kids, so we couldn't go. But yeah.
I got to see them on their last show before they hit arenas. It was Radio City Music Hall. And I was pretty close up, and we were all standing on top of the red velvet chairs, and it was pretty insane. Yeah, that was my favorite, one of my favorite shows. 84.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it was great talking to you. We'll let you get back to your...
You two guys.
Hey, thanks especially
for being so patient today.
Oh yeah, it's great to see you in the motherly role. This is really great. And you're outside. I'd rather be outside, and I'm going to be. Thank you so much for the 2 stories as well. Those are amazing stories.
And we urge everybody to check out Borrowed Time. You got to listen to that album.
Thanks.
Go to Dana's website.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dana.
DanaFuchs.com.
Thank you.
Guys.
Okay.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sweating bullets, screaming dirty, better than he gave. Blow your mind every night, just so you forget. Rise
Today's interview was recorded on Zoom and at Did You Say
7
Studios in Washington, New Jersey. Go to the YouTube channel for exclusive video content.
Intro and exit music by the band 99%.
Today's show was produced and edited by Jim Thatcher. You can find Jim and Mike Talk Music on Apple Music, Spotify, Podbean, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
The song's Hard Road, Not Another Second on You, Call My Name, and Star. Used with permission from Dana Fuchs.
Good night, everybody.